Hey guys, personal injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and I'm on my way to work yet again, so I thought I would shoot you a new video. So today's video is gonna be about choosing your doctor to treat with after your injury. Why is that important? Well, I'm gonna tell you. It literally can make or break your case. So there's two categories we have to talk about. There's a division in injury law. There's work injuries or workers' comp, and then there's personal injury, which is car crash, bicycle accident, motorcycle crash, bus or train, dog bite, bar fight, any other kind of injury like nursing home abuse or medical malpractice. Any other way you get hurt is considered civil PI or third-party PI. So let's talk about why it's important to be careful with who you choose to be your treating doctor in a workers' comp case first, and why it's important. So lawyers have a difference of opinion about this, but I will be honest with you. To me, it's sort of a toss-up, and it depends on the day, who the most important person is in your injury case. So no matter how I feel, realistically, the most important person in your injury case is you, because you're the one who got hurt, you're the one who has the stress, and you're the one who has the physical injury that may last you for the rest of your life. But that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about who is the most important person from the standpoint of winning your case and making a strong case for you. Now, you're important because if you do something wrong or if you do it right, it has a big swing, can make a big difference in your case outcome. But I'm talking about usually who's more important in your injury case, a lawyer or a doctor. Now, the lawyer is very, very important because there are a lot of lawyers out there who are good lawyers. I'm not saying anything bad about any other lawyers, but sometimes there's lawyers out there with less experience or who take on too many cases and have non-lawyers manage the cases for them, which is dangerous, or they sign up cases and refer them out to another law firm altogether. So, that compared to a lawyer who just handles your kind of injury case and handles them well can make a big difference. But I'll be honest with you, in a workers' comp case, the doctor you choose to treat you is huge. Why? Because only a doctor can say whether you're able to return to work or not. Only a doctor can say whether you're totally and permanently disabled or give an opinion as to the degree of your disability, right? And at the commission, the Illinois Workers' Comp Commission, the doctor you choose as your treating doctor is given a lot of deference by the judge. So in other words, the doctor you choose to be your treating doctor is sort of your person at court if your case has to go to court. And that's why it is important to choose a doctor in a workers' comp case who's on your side. That's the number one criteria. The other things you want to look for are, if it's a surgical case, does your doctor get great surgical outcomes? Is he respected by other doctors and surgeons for his ability to do surgery and make people better? And what is his reputation at the courthouse or at the commission regarding, has he never met a person he didn't want to do surgery on? Does he testify that the person was hurt at work no matter what the facts are? This sort of thing. So, in other words, how credible is the doctor at the commission? So, in a nutshell, what you're looking for in a work injury case is you're looking for a doctor who obviously does excellent work and makes sick or injured people better. You're looking for somebody who has an excellent reputation for their technical skill in surgery and things like that. And you're also looking for a doctor who has a great reputation at the commission for being neutral. But the main thing you're looking for is a doctor who will stand up for you. So if the doctor you're seeing now is skeptical, seems like he or she doesn't want to be bothered, or the minute that they hear that you have an injury case or a workers' comp case, they don't want to hear from you, they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to treat you, they don't want to give you an off work note, nothing like that, then you may have a doctor who is interested in earning a medical fee for the medical work they do, but who will not stand up for you when it matters most, when you go to court. And man, I will tell you a story about a lady who had a workers' comp case and swore up and down and sideways that when she was at her doctor's office, the doctor supported her 100%, but the doctor would not send me the medical records, would not talk to me on the phone, and refused to give a deposition because, the case needed to be supported. One of my rare cases that actually had to go to trial. So if you have a treating doctor who won't come to court for you, or gives you sings you a pretty song in the examination room when it's just you and the doctor, but then when push comes to shove, they don't want to come to court, or they won't give you the paperwork you need in your case, you've got a real problem, right? So those are the criteria for workers' comp. So what about third-party cases, right? Well, in third-party cases, it's pretty similar. Because in third-party cases like car crash, dog bite, bar fight, fall down, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice, all kinds of injury cases basically other than being hurt at work, it works a little bit different. In those cases, you don't get paid while the case is pending. In other words, you don't get a weekly check. You get all your money at the end of the case. So I always try to move the cases along as fast as possible so you get money as fast as possible. But how does that affect your choice of doctor? Well, a very small percentage of cases like that, third-party cases, ever even go into suit, right? So something like 75 to 85% of my cases settle before I even file a lawsuit. And then of those remaining cases, the vast majority of them settle before trial. But what are we looking for in a doctor to give you the strongest case? Well, it's similar to workers' comp, but a little bit different. Obviously, we're looking for a doctor who is willing to work on a lien. That means they're willing to treat you and wait to get paid till the end of your injury case. And that also means they're not going to put your bill in collections. It also means they're not going to call you or have a collection company call you or send you threatening letters. The last thing you need after an injury case is hassle from a doctor, right, about a bill when you're injured. So you don't want a doctor like that. You want a doctor with some experience in injury cases so he or she knows what to do. I represented a guy a number of years ago where he insisted on treating with his family doctor, who he had known for a number of years, but because the family doctor wasn't familiar with litigation, wasn't familiar with injury cases, I'm sure he was doing the best he could, but he put a couple of things in my client's medical records that really reduced the value of the case. What you discover when you've been doing this for a number of years is medical charting, that's making your medical records, they write down what your injuries are and what body parts are hurt and what they're doing and how you're doing. It's sloppy, very, very sloppy. So I've had dozens and dozens of cases in my career where right in the middle of a course of treatment, there's a visit that never occurred, and it's the wrong person's chart in my client's medical records, written right in there. And that can really hurt the case, right? So if a medical practice doesn't understand how serious that is for the purposes of litigation, because all of that can be used to cross-examine you and the doctor about whether you were really injured. I don't know if I'm getting it across very well, but if there's inconsistencies in your medical records, it can kill your case. So you want a doctor who's familiar with litigation and understands what the requirements are. And finally, again, You want a doctor who is more of a doctor and less of a businessman, okay? You don't want a doctor whose only concern is keeping every examination room full every second and how quick can he get paid, and giving a deposition is an imposition for him or her. You want a doctor whose main concern is protecting you and taking care of you and standing up for you when push comes to shove. So that's the criteria that you're looking for when you're injured and how to choose a doctor, right? You need somebody who has an excellent reputation, will stand up for you, knows how injury cases work, and isn't going to hassle you in collections or otherwise mess up your case with sloppy record keeping, okay? So that's really what you're looking for. If you're treating with a doctor who doesn't seem very happy that you've got an injury case, or is hassling you, or doesn't seem to believe you, is skeptical, is acting more like a defense attorney than your treating doctor, you might want to consider switching doctors. You're allowed to do that, and it might be a good idea to ask around to find a doctor who will work on a lien and who understands how these cases work. If you need help finding a doctor like that, there are doctors like that in every city in the United States, but since I'm mainly a Chicago, Illinois lawyer, if you need a doctor or a referral to a doctor, you can always give me a call, and I'd be happy to talk to you about the doctors I know who are pretty reasonable, who might be willing to help you out. However, do be aware that if your case is too far advanced, a lot of times switching doctors can slow down your case. Or, for example, if it's a surgical case, let's say you needed your knee operated on, okay? You got your knee operated on, and then after the surgery, the doctor acts like a jerk. He doesn't believe that your knee is still bad. Well, once the surgery has occurred, it's going to be really hard for you to find another surgeon to take over the case, unless it turns out you need another knee surgery to correct the first one. But it's, once the surgery has taken place, doctors don't really want to step in and take over care. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but that's just something you should be aware of. So I hope that information helps you. If you like my videos, or if you're a current and former client and you wouldn't mind, if you could give me a 5-star Google review. I'm competing against gigantic multi-million-dollar law firms in the Chicagoland area. Many of them are out of state. So if you could be so kind as to give me a 5-star review on Google, I would appreciate it. I'll leave the link down in the description. That would help me out a lot. And if you have friends or family members willing to do it, I'd appreciate that. If you need a lawyer or you need a free consultation, of course, give me a call at 312-500-4500. That number gets answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it always gets picked up, and I'm always available to get back to you. And other than that, you'll see in the links below, I've got a case settlement value calculator. And also on my website, I have a do I have a good case calculator. And these tools are tools I specifically built for people so that if they don't want to talk to a lawyer, or they're not ready to talk to a lawyer, they can get some idea of whether they have a good case or a bad case, or an approximate case value. So you can find that stuff in the links below and or on my website. So if you need me, give me a call. Otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.